Hello, everybody. My name is Solange Aranha. I'm from UNESP, São Paulo State University in Brazil. And I'm here to talk about the MulTeC, the Multimodal Teletandem Corpus. And I would like to show you some possibilities of research. And my agenda will be to talk a little bit about the project itself, the Teletandem project, the tasks that are involved in the institutional integrated modality, the numbers in MulTeC, how much data we have, how much or the types of metadata, the organization, and some samples, so you may have an idea of what you may find in the corpus. The Teletandem Brazil project, named Foreign Languages for All, is a virtual learning environment for language learning, for foreign language learning, where one student is put in contact with another student that speaks a different language, so that one can teach her or his own language to the other and learn from the other the language he or she is learning. This project has been happening at UNESP Campi since 2006, so it's been a long time. The Teletandem project is based on the tandem principles, which are reciprocity, autonomy, and bilingualism, meaning that each partner is responsible for his or her own learning, that they should divide the session in half of the session is spoken in one language, in Portuguese, for example, and the other half is spoken in English, for example, if it's an English-Portuguese partnership. One should respect the way of learning, the wants, the needs of the other. It's organized, the Teletandem practice is organized in different modalities. We'll be talking about the integrated modality, which means that it's incorporated into the language class, into the language course. So the Teletandem activity is part of the syllabus in a language course. And as part of a syllabus, you have two different macro tasks, which are the oral session itself and the mediation session that is usually carried out by the teacher, the responsible reading the learning diaries. Participants are supposed to write after every session, right? By taking into account the questionnaires, because the questionnaires, in the questionnaires, they put their goals, what they intend to learn, how they intend to behave during the project. That usually takes 8 weeks every semester. And you have the Teletandem oral session that is fed by the tutorial that explains how they should behave, not behave exactly, but how they should act during the Teletandem session, and the expectations and the principles. And also in the integrated modality, they exchange texts written in the language they are learning and corrected by the partner whose mother tongue is the language the other is learning. So we have collected all data from those tasks from 2012 to 2015, which is quite a long time. And the corpus contains 145 gigabytes of data, both oral and written, with these numbers. So this is what we have, and these hours of videos are not all transcribed. Maybe in a lifetime we'll finish that, but we have part of it already transcribed. The MulTeC has many tables like this. This is just an example of the table, that you have all the groups. We have 16 groups, 13 of them in the integrated modality and 3 of them in the semi-integrated modality, which implies that it was part of the course just in one side, and the other side, the students were volunteers. And you have the number of participants in each group. And from these participants, how many of them allowed or signed the consent terms so that they could be included in MulTeC. And also the number of questionnaires, the initial questionnaire, the final questionnaire, the duration of each session, right? The totals. So if you want all the totals, if you want the totals of the first oral sessions of the whole corpus, you have it here. If you want to know about these, just this group, you have here, and you also have tables like this for each partner, right? The metadata. In the metadata, you have learners' information, right? Age, gender, the level they think, the proficiency level they consider themselves in. You have a survey of the class. I mean, which group was that? What were the purposes? Which level? Which course as well? You have the general Teletandem data survey, which is how this group was integrated and how long the participants have attended Teletandem. And every class has a document with information about the group, okay? You have this data organization. The files are organized in folders according to the Teletandem modality, the learning scenarios, which implies the characteristics of each group with the tasks and everything, the learners and the tasks. So if you take a look here, each modality, integrated and semi-integrated, you have the consent forms from both groups, you have the documents I mentioned, you have the years, right? In the integrated and semi-integrated, you have the learners, and then you have the attendance list, how they were paired, the tutorial they received, all the information I have already mentioned, and also each student, each participant has an Teletandem identity, because all data is anonymized, obviously, right? So each learner has an identity here, and each learner has those tasks under their names, and also the tasks are in different folders, all of them, so you can use computer tools to analyze them. Just for you to have an idea of what the questionnaire brings, it brings the level, right? The learner says he or she's in, he believes he's in the different skills, and the goals. So each one has the goals. And also an oral session looks like this, basically.
I'm good too. What's your name? My name is Ashley. What's your name? Jessica. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. You are really good at English. No, I'm terrible. I promise I'm worse at Portuguese. What? I promise I'm worse at Portuguese than you are at English. I'm so sad. No problems. I will help you. How many people are in your class? 18? I think 18. Yes. What about your class?
Okay, just for you to have an example, they started talking in English, and after 30 minutes, they will switch to Portuguese, and that's basically how it goes. We also have the chat register of every oral session, and these are some metadata. You can also find the year and the data, the date of the production and everything. And this is quite interesting. We have some research on chat registers as well. As you see, all this, most of this information is based on Aranha and Lopes 2019. It's in the references, and it shows how the corpus was organized. Also, we have the texts written by Brazilians in English and by Americans in Portuguese and corrected by the partner. So we can see the text and we can see the comments. This is the revised text, and we also have a final version that implies the producer read the comments, accepted or declined, or he revised based on the comments. All of this is in the corpus. And also we have the learning diaries. As I mentioned before, you are supposed to students are supposed to write a learning diary after each session. And we have here impressions, and we have evaluations of how the session went. And also we have the references I mentioned. This is where you can find information about the corpus and how it's organized. It's open for researchers, anyone interested in researching different aspects of telecollaboration or of second language acquisition. Feel free to contact me, please. And thank you very much. This is my contact email. And if you want, you could take a look at these two websites. They have much more information about the project. Thank you very much. Eu estava gravando um vídeo para uma conferência que eu tenho que ir virtualmente, eu não pude te atender. Não tem problema, relaxe. Vamos lá. Ô Suzy, não tem pressa, tá? Eu vou fazer isso, vou voltar nisso só na segunda-feira. Então, se você conseguir amanhã, ok? Senão na segunda, você me dá. E se não der também, ok, relax.